Mitchell here with EnerLux. Today I wanted to show you guys a little bit more about our sliding patio door rollers and why they're a little bit different. On standard patio door rollers, you usually have a stainless steel makeup or a mild steel makeup on some lower quality rollers. Stainless steel makeups consist of a stainless steel chassis and then a stainless steel roller. And that's typically what most people use in a sliding patio door. However, about a year and a half ago, we went to a polymer wheel. So that means it's a stainless steel chassis with a polymer wheel. Now, at first, I was a skeptic because when I hear polymer, I think plastic. And when you hear stainless steel, you think stainless steel. So there's a big difference in our minds. And I was expressing those concerns to the manufacturer. And it wasn't until they showed me the test data that I really became a believer in the polymer wheel. And it's not entirely polymer. Polymer is a broad category of materials. It's a Delrin acetal. A DuPont Delrin acetal is the name of the substance. So here's the roller itself, and it's a really big roller. And that's just because we have really big doors. We can support really big glass. The roller itself, the wheel, you can see it's not stainless steel. It's that black color. It rolls really smoothly because of these large wheel diameters, just a 3-inch wheel diameter. It's a heavy chassis, very, very strong. It can hold up to 800 pounds. You wouldn't even want an 800-pound door because then you couldn't move it. But so anyways, this is the roller we're talking about. This is what goes into the patio doors. And I wanted to share with you guys the testing data. If I can pull it up here. Okay, so what you're looking at right now is a chart comparing a polymer wheel result to a stainless steel wheel result. These were tested at 660 pounds of force applied to them over 2 rollers, so each roller was sustaining 330 pounds. This test cycles were over 10,000 cycles. They do it on a 30-inch track, and they move the wheel and back, and that's considered one cycle. Every 2,500 cycles, they stop the test and do an initiating force test. And so the initiating force is how much force is required to start it, and then sustaining is how much force is required to keep it in motion. So if you look here in the green, that's the polymer wheel, and you can see where the initiating force starts off actually higher. But over here in these charts, the initiating force at cycle 0 is about 50% more on a polymer wheel than a stainless steel wheel, and similarly in the sustaining force. But if you watch, the increase in forces that are required on the stainless steel roller keep going up. They're climbing almost linearly, where the polymer wheels are still climbing linearly, but at a much lower slope. And what's striking is when you compare these two at scale. Let me pull that up. Here's the graph at scale. Pretty amazing. The polymer wheel remains very similar to its initial force. However, over time, the stainless steel wheel, both in its initiating and sustaining forces, increases. What that means is that at first you're going to have the same door. They're going to be the same roller, but after cycle after cycle after cycle, your stainless steel roller is going to create more force. It's going to oppose your force of opening more, and it's going to get harder to open that door. So when I saw this, I thought, man, that's pretty convincing. But the question is why? Why does this happen? The reason it happens is because on a stainless steel roller, you've got a stainless steel roller wheel competing with a stainless steel roller track. So the linear track that the roller travels on is made out of stainless steel. Well, you've got two like materials. And when those materials encounter some sort of conflict, be it dust or a rock or sand or just the surface features of the steel, they're going to compete with each other. They're going to be in competition, and one of them is going to lose every time. Now, whether it's the wheel or the track, we don't know and don't really care. The point is the surface of the steel gets modified in some way when those two materials compete. When you've got this DuPont Delrin material, this polymer wheel, it can still sustain all the force of 660 pounds, 800 pounds, but it's going to give way to the minor surface features of the stainless steel track. And so that's why you don't get this increase in friction or force over time, is because nothing's being damaged. When you've got steel against steel, one of them loses every time. There's damage that occurs every time there's a conflict. When you've got this high strength polymer against steel, the polymer's always going to lose. But the good news is that it's not damaged. And so what you get over time is this consistently smooth, consistently low force necessary to operate the door. And you can see that in the actual features of the wheel. The wheel, you can see, is damaged on the inner groove of it. However, with the polymer wheel, it's actually polished. And here's a picture of the tracks. So here's a picture of the same stainless steel tracks that were used in the test, that were used with these wheels, sorry, in this picture here. So these wheels were riding on these tracks over 10,000 cycles. There is a clear difference in surface features between the track that was used with the stainless steel roller and the track that was used with the polymer roller. The polymer track is spotless. In fact, I would say it's almost polished by the polymer wheel, whereas the stainless steel track is clearly damaged. So not only do you, the other thing to consider here is that not only do you have more force, the sound increases. You can hear the grinding of the rollers against each other when you have a steel versus steel competition. When you have a steel versus polymer competition, it's not a competition. There's no damage that occurs between the roller and the track, and you get a smooth, quiet slide. In fact, on our patio doors, the only thing that you can hear when you slide that panel is the sound of the weather strip passing, the weather strip that's used to seal the door passing itself. So it's a very, very quiet operation. But anyways, I wanted to show this to anyone who's interested, because to us this is incredibly important, and we see that it really improves the product, the quality of product, and the customer experience. The doors are just, time and time again, we've gone out after, you know, over a year of operation and a lot of abuse, and the door still slides like butter. The track is polished. It's very quiet, and that's really encouraging for us, and it's very exciting for us to be able to offer this to the marketplace. And for those that are curious, it's actually very interesting stuff, very curious stuff, because it's a little bit counterintuitive, just as it was for me. And so for that reason, I'm excited to share it with everybody. So thanks for your time. Thanks for listening. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We'd be happy to get you taken care of. But other than that, thanks for considering EnerLux Windows and Doors.